Oh, nice. Okay. And we're gonna make the sound come out from the. You guys are not seeing my screen? Why nobody's saying? I'm sharing here. Oh my. Online, guys, you can see my screen, no?
Yes, we can.
The on-site students are not seeing it because I'm not mirroring it. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, let's go. It is not. Okay. 1, 2. It works now, right? Okay, good. Let me make sure the sound is good. And okay, question time. Somebody's here? Okay, please open the door. We're gonna wait just a few seconds. So basically, all right. So hurry up, Addy 900. All right. So what I'm gonna do right now is show you what this user story talking about. Okay, in a sense where before we made the changes, what it looked like. So user story is saying allow means разрешить, right? Let, right? Interest form contact information. What is contact information? What is your contact information, Tim? Tell me. How do I contact you? Your contact information is your email, address, the phone number, right? Your name, last name, who you are basically, right? How can I get in touch with you? So let interest form contact information fields to be editable. Just reading this, we're learning a lot of English, no? This is good stuff, right? Like allow interest form contact information fields to be editable. When you read it one time, you don't understand it, right? Right? So basically, we want to let the text input fields on some kind of form to be editable, meaning you can change it. Okay. What are they? Let's see. Oops. Oh, how do I click cancel here? So let's see. The user should be able to edit, update their name, email address, phone number before submitting the interest form. That's the description of the story. Short, high-level description of what is supposed to happen when when developers work on this story. Yeah. Acceptance criteria says the contact information fields of the interest form should be pre-populated. Pre-populated means the information should already be there when you open it, when you launch it. With info, we have on the user from our database, but should be editable by the user. And these are the fields that are included: first name, last name, email, and the phone number. So these information we have about each user. And when we open the interest form, these information should already be visible for us. And this is what I'm talking about. So if I go to explore and I look at, for example, pre-chemical engineering, oops, not here. How we say oblong? 1 sec. Mail, about one. Please open this one. Okay. If I go to one of the psychology course, all right, request information. And when I click it, you see, we call this interest form. Okay. Interest form. And I already made these changes in the test environment. So therefore, it's populating all this information. I'm going to change the user to another user, which is my user again, Buck2. Hopefully this one has been onboarded into the system already. Let's see. All right, yes. Okay, so if I go here and I open psychology again and request information, there you go. You see, this is the interest form. Like you want to, let's say this is a program at Kean University, and I want to find out more about this psychology program. What do they offer? What is the curriculum like? Who's the teacher? How much they charge, right? When does it start? I want to know about this psychology program. Okay, I want to submit interest form so that they can contact me and give me more information about this program. Sounds good? It's like you want to, somebody says, hey, I'm teaching cooking class on how to make Napoleon cake. Yeah? Who I give the example last time? Who was in the class for Napoleon cake? Oh, Aidana, right? Yeah. Let's say Aidana wants to teach Napoleon cake making class. And she says, advertisement, hey, guys, I'm here to teach you Napoleon cake. Please hit me up on this phone number for more details. And then you're like, oh, okay, I want to learn how to make Napoleon. But it doesn't say anything about the price and where is she going to teach? Is it going to be online or is it going to be kitchen somewhere? Or is she going to come to my house and teach me? Like, what is it like? Yeah. So you want to find out more. So you request information, and that's called interest form. You are showing interest. Yeah. So when I click, I want to find out more. To learn more, click on this request information, and this is the information form. And here I'm clicking right now. See, I'm not able to change this. See, I'm clicking, but it's not editable. See, I'm not able to change, right? The same with the email address, the same with the phone number, but I can select like start date and this, and then I can submit and boom. All right, it says, hey, thank you for your interest in Kean University. Someone like Riyab has received your form. We will send you an email with more information if you are ready to move forward. Start the application process. And I click and then I'll start. So they're gonna send me more information, okay? Now, as you saw, I was not able to change, right? Edit my information, contact information. My first name, I cannot change it, see? And same thing, last name, email, phone number, nothing I can change here. Let's see. Okay. And then this user story is saying that, hey, now we want to make the interest form contact information to be changeable, or we should be able to update. We should be able to edit the contact information that we have in the interest form. All right, let's see. So they want to be able to change the first, last, email, and the phone number. And if the form is filled out, yeah, or edited, like if I made any changes in the form, I deleted my first name and I put, instead of Baha, I put now Mary, yeah? And I closed it, but I did not submit. So that's what it says. I partially edited or completely, or maybe I updated everything, including the first name, last name, phone number, email, everything. I made changes, but I didn't click on the submit button yet, okay? And I closed the form by clicking on the this X button, right? Or if I click anywhere outside of this form, like here, it will close, see? So basically, or clicking out. Before submitting the form, we should either or either. Really? Okay. We should either. I like either. We should either save this in browser memory. So if the user returns it, when user clicks back and returns back, right? It stays populated. Like whatever changes I made should still remain there, even though I didn't submit it yet. No? So this is what I mean. I click it, and right now, this is staging environment. You see in the URL, it's a stage, right? So in the stage, this change is not there yet. It's only in the test environment. Developer has made changes in the development environment, moved it to test environment so I can test it, make sure everything that he did is correct, make sure that all the changes that he has done are per these requirements here. They need to match the acceptance criteria, right? So if I make changes to the form and without submitting, and I just close the form. So right now, let's say I changed my first name and then I closed it. I didn't submit, right? I didn't hit the submit button. I just made change here and I closed it. That's what it's saying here. Save this in browser memory. And then when I get back here, the change that I made here should still be remained. And or save partial complete to the database to then present back if the open form, if they open the form before they refresh the program. This is very important, I found out today. Before they refresh the program detail page or navigate away from the page. So what they mean. So I made changes, I closed it, but I didn't get back. You see, I navigated back, right? Or let's say I made change to the last name and I refreshed it. Okay, so now everything's cleared again. So they're saying before they refresh or navigate away from the page, all the changes that the user made temporarily should be saved. Okay, and note, this would be the per program level, not globally. So like changes that I made here should only be applicable to this program, Culinary Arts, Cold Food Proficiency in Napoleon Cake Making, Aidana's course. I'm just kidding. Let's see. And that should only be applicable to the program level. All right. So now I don't want to give you these parts because these are going to confuse you. Just given these 2 bullet points in the acceptance criteria, I'm going to ask questions now, okay? In the acceptance criteria, they're saying the first name, last name, email, phone number should be editable. If the form is filled out partially, when I close the interest form, the changes that I made should remain. They shouldn't be cleared if I do not navigate back out of the page or if I don't refresh the page. All right, given this information, we're gonna discuss a few things here now. Oh. All right, let's get back to the same account, but now I changed it to which environment? Test environment. This is where the developer's code should be present now, okay? Once I complete the testing in the test environment, which is the QA environment, then he will move the code to the stage environment. And that's where we'll do user acceptance testing. After we have completed our testing in the stage environment, all the development work goes through testing in the test environment. Individually, each one of them will be tested. And then we move them to stage environment. And then once we complete the testing in the stage environment, which is user acceptance testing, then we push it to production. That's when the real users will use them. Right now, it's only available in the test environment for me to test, okay? So I go to explore again. So I go to public health. And then now here's the magic. I click on request information and guess what? I can change now. I can put here Tamerlane. What was the name before? Darren Test, right? Now, Tamerlane. Sorry, man. Tamerlane test. And the last name is Jobs. Okay, see, I made changes. So it was not editable before. Now we're gonna let you, going forward, we're gonna let our users to be able to update their information. So now here, tell me guys, how would you test this? Because I gave you the acceptance criteria here. Two acceptance criteria. First, the information should be changeable. First name, last name, email, phone number. Second of all, when I close it, everything should be, yeah, temporarily saved. How would you test these functionalities? One test case at a time. Mary, tell me, how would you test? Start with the first acceptance criteria, the bullet point, like first name to be editable. Tell me, how would you test it?
First name.
So here we are,
In
and I'm
my-
opening the form, and I refresh it, so it goes back to reality. All right, there we go.
In the first input, in first name input, we.
How do I know
use-
if this is first name? Just kidding. Yeah, this is first name. Okay.
As I read in your story, point, there was first name.
The contact
Ah,
information fields of the
con-
interest form
Mhm.
should be pre-populated with info we have on the user from our database, but should be editable by user. These fields include, the editable fields are first name, last name, email, phone number, but I just want you to test the first name.
First name.
So
it's fir-
what is the first thing that we have to check here? What
the
does it say?
The first, it need to be, it should be pre-populated info for user. And it should be editable,
Pre-populated
pre-populated
from where?
with info.
Yeah. Where
Of the
should-
user. On the user web page. How saying correctly?
What does pre-populated mean?
Должно появиться, да?
Yes,
Pre-populated. да.
yes.
То есть in user web page or.
So with pre-populated info we have on that user from,
Our database.
where do we store the data?
In main.
Where do we store the data? Like you graduated your high school and your high school diploma, you have it, but your school also has it, right? Copy. Where do they have it? Archive, archive, which is storage.
Data
Storage. Storage is database, right? Sanarip. So now we store everything in the
our
database. Yeah, so our user store the data is stored in the database, but they should also be editable. So the first thing we have to check is that this condition is pre-populated. When I open the interest form,
That's for,
right?
yeah.
things should be already populated. I should see the username, I mean the first name, last name, email, phone number already be there, displayed. Yeah, so click. Oh, okay, they exist, right? First test case passed. Now, second, but should be editable by the user. And these include first name. So tell me, how should I test to make sure this is editable? And how would you test it?
I need to write new name,
Okay.
which one I want to change.
Mhm.
And
All right, good.
that's all. And
Yeah, this is where we gotta really think outside of us. How can I break this thing, right? That's what we do. We test. Anyone can just, right? Just change it and oh, okay, it's working. I am able to change.
some characters, numbers, yeah.
Special characters, okay.
like a negative. Negative list.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So let's go ahead. It doesn't say anything about the validation, but it says it here. I didn't read it for you guys. So here it says need field validation that we already have from onboarding for email address is valid email address format. What is a valid email address format? We all know. It should include @ it should include something something domain.com or .net, .kg, .kz, right? Phone number should be valid. What does valid phone number look like? Especially in America, 10-digit, right? Okay, and it has to be all numbers. And displaying those errors as we typically do on boarding fields, like basically, like if I type invalid email, it should say, hey, please provide a valid email. So for the first name and other stuff, it doesn't say anything. So guess what I did? Look at this. I asked when? 2 hours ago. Hey, is there a max character limit or any validations for first and last names in the form? See? Because this is what I did. Now it says, let's see, Command C. I need to know how many characters there is. How do I do that? How do I do that? I can do Java code, right, very quickly, because I don't want to count like 1, 2, 3, right? So I'm just gonna write a Java code because I'm lazy and I wanted to count. How do I check that again? That length? Oh, okay. Let's do that. What? Oh, this is somebody else's code. Okay. Ooh. String rand equals. Okay. Let's see, system out println. The length is and that length. 286. Okay. He said 255 character limit on first and last name. Okay. 255. So 86. I need to take out probably something like this and let me run it again. 260. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should be 255 now, right? Okay, good. All right, so let me copy this. Well, see, where do you use Java in real life? I'm using it right now. So, okay, if I put and one more, it says first name is required. Well, I don't think this is a very valid, what do you call this, toast message or notification alert, right? Right, alert message. First name is required. Well, I am providing first name. Maybe they should say, hey, user friendly, some kind of message, right? Hey, yeah, too long. The maximum characters in a name can be 255 or something. And also, look how many spaces I'm putting here. Maybe they should somehow handle this, but I will get back to them on this. I will later on tell them about this. Okay, so let's see now. Here, okay, so we got this part. All right. Okay, we tested the maximum limit, right? Is this testing? Yes. How about we leave it empty? Oh, okay. How about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10?
Just
Wow. Whoa, that just went through. So the purpose of this is, guys, see, QA in progress in the test environment. And who's testing it? Me. Okay. Product owners. Who owns the stories? Who owns them? Who owns the user stories? Who owns the product? Okay. But what about the requirements? Who owns the requirement? Oh my God.
manage.
Yep, my manager. No, the developers, they own. No, tester, I own it. Product owners, guys, come on.
Requirements also product owners?
Of course. All right. So we got a long way before we find job, guys. This is one of the first interview questions. Yeah. Now, so I need to create a bug for this. It just failed my testing, right? Empty username is being submitted, really? This shouldn't be valid. So that's how we test. Let's say for psychology now, where's the, I don't see the interest form now. What's going on? It's gone. Ooh, it did load, but it loaded later, right? Psychology, see? Okay. Earlier we didn't see it, right? I click here. Phone number is invalid. What? Okay. It is valid. Really?
So
I'll check. Come on, man, go back. Oh, if I go back. Ah, the last one has 5, yeah? If I delete this, okay. All right. Okay. So as you can see, that's what user story is in real life. Okay. That's how you do testing. Well, obviously, I have to write test cases. Okay. But now I'm writing my test cases directly in the automation. Saying, for example, here, why is it? What is going on with my laptop today? Okay. So here, for example, verify the header and tooltip message for cost filter text. Okay, what does it mean? If I go here, click on filter, I go to cost per credit. And when I hover over, you see the tooltip message? This is called tooltip message, tooltip. When I hover over this display, right? It's tooltip. So I need to make sure this tooltip message text should be valid. And then I have this automation here. And if I run it, for example, now this is how automation works. It's launching the website by itself. and goes, it opened tooltip, it validated, it closed. That was fast, right? Okay, so I'm gonna make it a little slower for you guys. Wait, this dot page, command Z, page dot wait for timeout, and I'm gonna wait 3 seconds there so you can see what is going on. Oh, not this page. It's not the instance of this page. All right. So I'm gonna wait there. And then after it hovers over, I will put another wait here. Page dot wait for timeout. And I'm gonna wait here another 2 seconds or 3 seconds so you guys can see when it hovers over that, yeah? I'm gonna run it, it's running. Now, when it goes to explore page. It's gonna click on filters. Now see, waiting, and now hovered over, it appeared, it took the text, and then said, all right, the text that got displayed, it says here, I put a logger here. What does it mean? I will tell you in a second. So basically, logger means this guy right here, log info, saying, hey, this is the message I got. The text for cost filter tooltip text for cost for filter tooltip text is cost per credit may vary on your residency financial blah 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 aid package. See, that's how automation works. How was it? The automation. Who? Did you guys understand what automation was? What was it? So let's say developer made change and developer's like, hey, can you actually check because I made changes to the tooltip. Can you make sure the tooltip message is now correct? I'm saying, hey, tooltip message. Okay, what did you change it to? All right, my expected data, right? Expected data, I have it right here. There you go. This is what the message should be. See? And I can change it here. Developers say, hey, you know what? Now the text message should be, I don't know, hey, this is where you can actually slide and change the prices. They changed it. And all I gotta do is I just need to come here and change it. This is my expected text message. And when I run it, as you can see, this is my expected, and this is my actual. Oh, wait, this is my expected. This is the actual text that is appearing on the UI. And I verify, and then they run, they pass, fail. Anyways, let's get back to, yeah. Is it? Yes. Yes. No, you have to actually, look, I hovered over. This is how I was finding it. I clicked on inspect. See, this is tooltip, see? And then I hovered, I found it by its test. I will show you how I found it actually. Look, in here, explore page, tooltip icon, there you go. By its ID, my icon. The pound means ID, right? The new folks, sorry, right here. You will see that my icon, you see? Oh my God, what did happen? See, it says my icon. And then it says TP icon inside, right? Data test equals TP icon. Watch. Oh, okay. So that one I didn't have to. So, and then, yeah, that's how I located it using XPath. Well, I'm using the ID here. But for the other ones, usually I write this kind of XPath. All right, anyways. So I don't write test cases now because I'm directly automating them. Okay, so what I wanted to show with this thing is that at work, this is what the user stories look like. And the problem is, you guys need to be able to understand this. What user story says, the content, the requirement, because this is requirement, right? Law. Like you go to, you open traffic regulations law book, you read it, you understand, hey, when you are changing lane within 50 feet at least, you have to turn your left turn signals if you're changing left. If you're changing right turn signals, like they explain it, everything in bullet points, just like that. In user story, this is the requirement of how the business wants the application to work like. You see, the business said, hey, from now on, we want to let our users be able to edit their information, contact information. As you saw before, I was not able to edit, right? In the stage environment. Guess what? In production also, I cannot. This is production. Let me see. I think production is just add like this. I don't know. Let me check. See. This is our real application in production. This is what our users see. I go here. See? I cannot change this. See? We don't let our users be able to update their information in production yet, because we're still testing it. Is it going to work? Because business says, hey, until now, we didn't let our users be able to edit their information. But from now on, going forward, we want to let them make changes to their contact information. And how does this process happen, right? This is where the software development life cycle comes in. Software development test, STLC, software test life, software test life cycle, STLC. SDLC, software development life cycle. So right now, software development life cycle and software test life cycle are happening. You see? They want, the business want to let their users edit or change their contact information. But how do we make it happen? We have to communicate that to our developers. Hey, developer, this is what we want now. Remember, we had that interest form, and now can you go and make changes so that the users are able to change? And then developer puts it in in development, which is right here. Wait. So he picks it. Well, once we bring this user story to the sprint 1.7.4, yeah, to the sprint, it remains in the to-do, and then developer takes it, and then after we refine, make sure like developer understands all the requirements, yeah, what he needs to do, he then moves it to the product owner moves it to ready for dev. Hey, we refine the story, developer understands what he needs to do. We do that during our backlog refinement, yeah, and then during sprint planning, he brings it to ready for dev, and then developer takes it, he starts working on it, and he brings, developer moves it to development in progress, meaning he's working on it. He's writing code, and he's making changes, and he's putting it to dev in progress. And once he completes it, then he puts it in the PR review, meaning pull request, meaning, oh man, this is a big topic to explain, but he's gonna let the developer, after he or she makes changes, he's going to ask the senior or software managers to review his changes. Hey, does my code look okay? Can you please take a look at it? These are the changes I made. And the senior developer or someone who's like, architect or software manager takes a look at the code. And then if he sees something not correct, he's like, hey, I see this code, I don't like it. Can you change it? with some feedback and suggestions, okay, recommendations. And then developer fix, and then send it to him for review again, yeah, PR review. And the manager or the lead software engineer, the senior, reviews it, says, okay, it looks good, I'm gonna merge your code. And then he merged the code to development environment, and developer tests his own code, make sure he's satisfied with it, and he's like, okay, I think I'm ready to push this code, bring this code to the QA environment so the test engineer can test it, which is Baha, right? And I'm gonna test it because I'm the only QA in this company, remember? Okay, so then developer says, okay, my code has been merged, now I'm gonna bring it to ready for QA. See, I still need to test these 2 stories. This is the one I picked up about 2-3 hours ago. I'm working on it. Okay, so after I finish this, I say, hey, it looks good in the test environment. And I'm gonna move it to ready for stage. Now, this story can be moved to the stage environment, right? Until then, I do my testing in the test environment, which is, so right now in QA environment, I'm, so these are the steps of software development and software test life cycle. Life cycle means it's a cycle, right? Круговорот, or no, that's not a correct word, right? Cycle, yeah. Every 2 weeks, we bring something new, you know? We make changes, we update the UI. Now, our designers have made changes now. They're like, hey, we're gonna make our application look really, really cool. And I cannot find that probably now. That's fine. I don't see a link for that. That's okay. So every so here's the term. In software world, you can, even in real life, right? You're planning on something. You can't do everything right away. You got to plan and take small steps at a time to achieve it, right? Same thing in the software. They want to build a good product. You need to first start with the baby steps. So our application doesn't look very good right now, to be honest. The performance, there's issues. There's a lot of issues in our software, right? Like just by closing this, and you already saw, I leave this empty, it still accepts it, right? Come on. So you try to do that thing on Google or Facebook or some big applications. They're not gonna let you. They control everything that you when you interact with their software. But here we're not at that level yet. We are still improving as we go, right? First you build whatever you can, and then you slowly improve it in cycles. That's what we call sprints. Every 2 weeks. For this sprint, meaning for this upcoming 2 weeks, we're gonna commit to 5 stories. We want to improve them. We're gonna do this. We're gonna add this cool feature. We're gonna do this, right? We're like, okay. So then commitment means like depending on the resources that you have available, like how many developers you have, how many testers you have. Let's say you bring in 10 stories, and these are big changes. You only have 2 developers. You think you're gonna be able to finish it? Maybe your developers are gonna be working overnight, and then for next sprint, they won't be able to work that much because they burned out. They spent their entire weekend working on the story. Their nights, they were sleeping only 3, 4, 5 hours. They're stressed. So we need to consider 40-hour weeks. That's what the sprints are about. Making sure the agile. What does agile mean? Flexible, right? That you can adapt to changes. So if within 2 weeks, you see you commit to like 20 stories and you only have 2 developers and they burnt out, they were only able to deliver 12 stories, but they're like, oh my God, I'm so tired. Like it was so hard to deliver these 12 stories. The 2 developers said, okay. And then next sprint, okay, guys, it looks like this was too much, but we committed to 20 stories. We were only able to deliver 12 stories. Let's cut down now. Let's commit to 10 stories this time. right? Because last time it was 20 stories. We were only able to deliver 12, and our developers were so tired. It's like me asking Benazir to take 6 different English groups. And she's teaching like 3 hours for one group, 3 hours for one group in one day. She's coming in Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and she has 5 groups, 3 hours each, 15 hours a day she's teaching. Guess what? She's gonna last 1 month at max. After 1 month, she's gonna say, I quit. I can't teach anymore, right? Right? It's like 15 hours every day. It's already like too much. So same thing, in sprints, you have to consider the capacity that you have, meaning resources that you have, how many resources that you have, and how much work you can commit to, right? How much you can teach. See, now I teach only 1 day a week because that's my capacity now. I can't teach. I used to teach the previous batch all myself, right? Then I burned out. 4 months, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to see the school because this is a lot. So the same thing, sprint by sprint, we measure the work that we do. And that's the best part about Agile. And recently, during interview, they were asking this question, hey, tell me about Agile framework. What do you like about Agile? Agile is a methodology. It's a work style, right? It's a framework. It's a style of delivering something. Agile means flexible, adaptable to changes. If we commit to too much, then we're gonna cut. If we cut too much and it's too less work for us, then we're gonna add more. See, we're like adaptable, right? According to the situation, we can be flexible, right? We can change. It's like that in the X-Men movie, the person who can change colors and like, what do you call that person? I forgot. So that's what Agile is. Agile is we can adapt to the changes accordingly. Okay? If we commit to too much, then we're gonna cut. If we cut too much, then we're gonna add a little bit more. Every sprint we can change, but we're trying to find the perfect spot for us, the balance, so that our team doesn't burn out, so that we are effectively delivering. Yeah? I talk too much. Okay. So how did I get to this? Yeah, sprint by sprint. Every 2 weeks, we commit to stories and developers deliver, and then testers test. And then once we have tested, we move to stage. Then everything has been tested properly, things looking good. We don't find any bugs. And we say, all right, we're gonna send it to our users now. Let them use it. Be happy ever after, right? Okay. Man, we're supposed to teach Java today. Any questions so far? I think Aidana wanted to ask something earlier, no? Aidana, did you have a question?
No. Oh, everything's clear.
Browser memory? Yeah, good question. So Inja here is asking, on that user story, it was also talking about browser memory, meaning temporary browser memory, okay? Inja? Like temporarily. All right, let's go. I need to go to the test environment because that's where the changes are currently, right? Inja? Okay. Email. So she's asking, how do you make sure the browser is temporary means in Russian? Huh? Временно, right? In Kyrgyz? Вақтылуу? Yeah. In Mongolian? Huh? Turto? Turto? Turtso. In Mongolian, временно means turtso. Temporary. Okay. I click here. How do you say it in Tajik language? She's like, what? I just... Oh man. Good. Just wanted to see if she was still awake, you know. She's a little tired, so. Okay.
Ninja's question, let's see. So how do we check if the temporarily works? So first of all,
What did they say? What are the exceptions about the temporary memory working? Do you remember? I'm sorry? Without submitting? They didn't give time, but there's,
Another page here.
if you don't navigate to a different page, and if you don't refresh this page, right? As long as you stay here, it should remember, right? Okay, so let's do that. We go here and we're like, okay, so right now we have Darren test, right? And I'm gonna change to Jenny. And then instead of Randall, I'm gonna say what? Johnson. Jenny Johnson. Remember, okay? So how do I test? I can click anywhere outside and then form close. See? So I'm not gonna refresh. I'm not gonna go to different navigation pages. I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna click this back. It should remember Jenny Johnson, right? There you go. But if I refresh, it should go back to Darren test, whatever, right? Randall. Let's refresh. See? And I click. See? It went back to Darren. And then same thing about Jenny Johnson. That's fine. I'm gonna close it. And I'm gonna open. It still remembers, right? And if I go back, and then I come back, it should be deleted, right? The new change. There you go. See, it went back to, there you go. Cool. Good question though. So regarding mobile, I also asked question because like mobile validation, they say like this is not a valid phone number, right? Right? And but it's accepting, see? It's happy. And then I asked like, hey, is there a validation for the phone number to not be all zeros? And he's like, there's nothing preventing all zeros from being entered as a phone number. It only checks that it is a phone number format. So I clarified, right? Okay, good. And I'm gonna post one more question here. Before I post it, I'm gonna like this. Another question. Well, I'm just gonna put, oh. What happened? I changed to, okay. I was supposed to do this, Riley. Yes, and what about the name? You know what? I'm not gonna say anything about the name. I'm gonna create a bug. Okay, that when I enter empty white spaces, it's accepting it. Shouldn't, right? It should maybe trim it or do something. Should I create that bug right now or later when you guys don't see it? I can create it now if you guys want. Is it interesting or should we go to Java?
Sorry, but when you there will be no white spaces. For example, there are people they have two names, like one name consists of two words. Then they will not be able to put their full name, right?
No, they will be. It's just, this is what I'm talking about. Gulkhair, look. See right now, empty, right?
Yeah.
And it says first name is required. Okay. And I'm just putting just space. You see, 1 space, 2 space, 3 space,
Oh, I see.
4 space, 5 space. And now there's nothing basically. And then I select the year and I say, have you ever attended school before? Yes. And now see, I'm able to submit and it will take it. Probably that's the same thing for the last name too. Watch. 2, 3, 4. But if I don't put anything,
between the words, then okay, I see. Thank you.
yeah. So yeah, good question though. But this, I think this is a bug. But here's the good thing about being a tester though. Yeah. Because they don't say, they didn't say anything about this in the requirement, right? Meaning name and last name validation. They didn't say anything. I asked it. He said 255 is the max. And minimum is, looks like it's 1. Because after I put 1 character, it's taking that away, right? There could be people with only 1 letter in their name. H. How is he gonna write his name? Right? Or how do you write those names, the African names? Something. You guys saw them, yeah? Yeah, go ahead, question.
Yes, regarding this, I just remembered the 250 max length. I mean, why is that much long? I mean, we all know that the names cannot be like this much long. And why do they put this limit? I mean,
I don't
200.
know. Yeah, they just,
Why not 50 or why not 100?
The name in the world consists of more than 100 characters.
yeah, so Benazir saying is the longest name in the world consists of more than 100 letters. So I guess they just didn't want a limited, you know, but said at least let's put 255. Right? They're depending on common sense too much, I guess. But the problem is, I don't think they should include but I don't know, what do you guys think? Numbers and special characters? But Elon Musk son name. What was that name? Do you see? Like this, I think they have to include special characters, right? So that this guy can see his, how to pronounce the name of Elon Musk and Grimes' son. Exashashi or something like that. I know he took this name from Archangel 12. It's like the rocket or something that landed on the moon or something. I don't know. Something like that. But is he his name? So this guy is gonna have so much hard time in school. But anyways, that's why I think they should let, for example, you know, special characters, but white space, I don't think this is valid. This is definitely about, yeah. I'll report that later so that we can actually get to our Java stuff. All right. Next. Okay, next. You have covered what you call inheritance. Yes? Yes? All right. Let's look at my base class. Is base class inheriting anyone? Look at this code. Oh. Is this base class? So forget about this. In Java, we write the class like this, right? Class name is base page. Is it inheriting anyone or no? No, right? We don't see which keyword?
Extends.
Extends. Therefore, it's not inheriting anyone. Now look at, I will show you another page, explore page. This is the explore class. Look, it's extending base page. So in real world, we will use inheritance a lot. And yes, you might say, oh, maybe it's only in Java, but my code right now, this is TypeScript. And even TypeScript supports inheritance. Even C#, C programming, they all support inheritance. They use different keywords. For example, in C#, instead of extends keywords, this is what you're gonna do. You just put colon. That means extends, okay? So basically, what does it mean? Why am I using it here? Is it interesting? So mainly when we use inheritance, it's because we want to inherit something from the parent class, right? So father is inheriting some stuff to the kids, like there, through DNA, already the genetic stuff, right? Like the eye color, the hair color, and all the stuff will be inherited to the children. Just like that, the car, the house, the money, the properties, the assets that this parent have when the parent passes away, all gets inherited to the children, right? And in Java, it's a very similar syntax here. I mean, similar concept. So base page class here is being inherited by explore page. So explore page is extending the base page, meaning it's inheriting stuff from base page. What kind of stuff? Let's see. So base page here, I use the base page for very common things, such as, think about it, building. Every building should have a building type. Am I right? School, restaurant, hospital, storage, I don't know, bus station, what else? Business building. What kind of buildings there are? Sports complex, like stadium, hockey field, all these type of buildings, they all have common things such as type, building area, right? Square foot, meter square, or the number of doors, right? Does it have AC? Does it have lights? Like all of these are common things between all the buildings. Same thing. In my base class, base page class, I use, like here, in my framework, all the classes such as explore page, I'm always clicking something, clicking element before I can do some other stuff, right? On this page, the application, in order for me to test the changes about the request form right here, right? If I'm able to make changes to the first name or last name, I always have to click this button, right? Am I right? Click, okay. So this is in the, not inside the explore page, but inside the program details page. Okay, let's see. What about recommended? Oh, if I go to recommended page, in order for me to, for example, I don't know, to go to the interest form, I need to first click this program so it can take me to the program details page. So I'm always clicking, right? Right? To filter, I click, go to explore page. I clicked on the filters button. To close it, I click on this element. To search, I click here first. So go to dashboard page, I'm clicking. I'm clicking. So click is something that's very commonly used throughout the entire application, right? So now I'm like, hey, I want to click on elements. I will be clicking on elements. It doesn't matter which page I am on, I will always be clicking on some kind of elements. So I said, okay, this click is how about I make this as a function? Click on this element, click on this element. And this element method, so in Java, this is what you will have. Public, void, and then click element. And then instead of this locator, what I would do is web element
element. This is what it would look like in Java, okay? Only this part. Basically, I'm saying, hey, take any element, and whenever I call this method, just click on that element, whatever the element that is. It could be that button, it could be that text field, it could be that program card, whatever that is, just click it. So since this click element method, it's something generic and very commonly used throughout everywhere, I am going to create this in the base class, like any class, yeah? So that any other class is going to extend or inherit the base page. You don't believe? Let's go. So explore page is extending the base page. Program details. Oh, I don't have code. Don't worry about this yet. Oh, okay. Dashboard page. Oh, it's also extending the base page. Because of those common methods, every page will have some kind of clicking. And I want that click method to be located in the base page so that every other class which extends it can inherit that method and use that method all the time. So when you inherit, you have access to it, access to everything that the parent class has, right? Is that the purpose of object-oriented inheritance? So that you
Yes.
can access the parent class's properties. Yes. Members, basically. Members of the parent class. Everything you can access, okay? Unless it's private, right? Can private methods be inherited? I need to check that. I can't remember. No, it cannot be, right? It can only be used in the same class. Okay, anyways, you haven't covered it yet, so don't worry. In Java, we use the same keyword, right? Extends. Let me go back and fix that, whatever I did. Base here. So TypeScript has some similarities with Java, but it's different. So for example, instead of public void blah, 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 you just type async. Make this code asynchronous, meaning like I didn't study TypeScript, but since I know Java, I just watched a couple of tutorials and I was able to pick it up. And I see it's very similar. Because I have JavaScript background, meaning I studied JavaScript a little bit after learning Java. After learning Java, JavaScript was super easy, like piece of cake. Because Java is a very complicated language, which is good. You go for the harder thing to learn, the rest is going to be easy later. Yeah? The keyword extends? Yeah. Oh, yeah, this everywhere is going to be used. Even JavaScript uses this. It refers to the instance of the specific class, the current object. It belongs to the current object. And this object is right here, page, right? Page is an instance of page class. Instance means object, right? So in order to specifically refer to the current instance of this page object, we use this keyword. All right, cool. Now, let's see. I think here you are using super keyword. See? Super keyword. So this is explore page. And in my test class here, I have explore page, new explore page, and I'm sending this current page as a parameter to the explore pages constructor right here. It takes it and it says, hey, initialize this page. And it says, all right, I'm gonna go to my parent class, which is the base page. And this base page has a constructor which initializes, right? This page instance. All right, take your break. I know I talked too much. And after the break, we're getting back to our lovely Java. Resume. And here we're going to create a new package, OOP inheritance. And inside this OOP inheritance, so the concept of inheritance is, again, it is about writing less code mainly. It's about scalability. Later on, you will see about interfaces. But the purpose of inheritance is that avoiding, yeah, or removing duplicate work. Correct? It's like, it could be also similar to automation, because in automation, what you do is like, it's the vacuum cleaner at work, or pылесос, yeah? The purpose of it is you use manually like the broom, right? Yeah, with broom, you try to clean your house, try to clean your apartment, but with the vacuum, you just plug it in, start, and automatically it will clean. And now there are robots, right? That you just press the button and it will vacuum or clean your house for you. Yeah, and these are coming or being invented, created because of the need for it to save time. So the purpose of inheritance is the same, so that we don't have to write the same code multiple times if we can write it in one place and use it in other places. You saw in my base page, I have click element method. All it does, all I have to do is just show this method what element he needs to click. Button, input field, form, whatever I need to click, I just need to tell him, hey, click here. And call this method, it will go and click it for me. If I don't have this click method, click element method, then I would have to do the same thing in other classes everywhere. But instead, I just said, I just created click element here. And I'm probably using it somewhere in the same class. No, okay, that's fine. For example, checkbox. Select drop down by text. Select drop down by value. Clear text. Like these are very common enter text, meaning like type text somewhere, right? These are very commonly used methods in the web-based applications. And it makes sense for me to keep them in the main class, if you will, like the base class, base page. And all the other classes just extends this. And since they extend this class, they all inherit this method. They don't have to, yeah, they don't have to create an object of the class in order to call this method. They can just call it directly. Let's see. In explore page, let me search for click element. See? I don't even have to create an object of that base page class. I just call it directly. Click element. Yeah?
Sorry, await means what in the
Oh,
code?
don't worry. This is await and async. It's a
Mhm.
really huge topic in
Okay.
JavaScript, TypeScript. So we're not going to get into this. There's something called promises, and promises are when you are waiting for some kind of code to be resolved before you can continue with the next code and stuff like that. But it's one of the biggest topics in JavaScript or TypeScript. Already, wait. Why do I not have async here? Oh, this will get called right away to get dynamic locator. Why do I have this code? I need to clear this up. Let's continue with our Java stuff. And so let's talk about, for example, inheritance for example, you have seen vehicle, right? Vehicle, student, school, etc. What about planes? Yeah, let's say airplane. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and not here, but let's go ahead and create a note here, Sublime Text. So plane or plane, yeah. What do all planes have in common? Like, what are different types of planes, first of all? Or instead of plane, what can I say? Yeah, plane, airplane. I'm just gonna call this airplane, okay? Airplane. What are different types of airplanes? Helicopter is not an airplane, right? It is a helicopter itself. Jets, right? Jet. Passenger airplanes, right? The ones that we go to different countries or different states with. Cargo, yeah. Cargo airplanes, okay. Military.
Sorry, yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, I just wanted to add like military.
Yeah, military airplanes, cargo, jet. Is there unmanned airplanes or no? Those are UAV type, right? So yeah, I don't want to confuse. So let's just talk about these. And what are some common characteristics and behaviors for all these airplanes?
To fly.
Take off. Another mentioned. This is land, right? Okay. What else?
Transport. To transport something.
Load, unload. Yeah. Onboard, maybe. Load, unload. Okay. And what about characteristics?
Brand, maybe model.
Make, right? Model. Make and model is like, make is the brand that you were saying, right? Like Boeing, Northrop Grumman, or Sukhoi, right? There are different types of airplane making companies. Huh? Oh, fuel capacity, right? Like how much fuel can it take? Flight distance or distance? Travel
Maybe
distance,
speed.
right? Oh yeah, speed. Top speed maybe, yeah? Like how fast it can go. So let's say these are the so these are airplanes. So think of it from, there's one class called airplane. Yeah. And this airplane class has all of these common characteristics and behaviors, right? All the airplanes take off. All the airplanes land. Some airplanes land on water, but they still land. Some airplanes take off from water, they still take off, right? And all airplanes load and unload. Let it be loading cargo, right? Some goods, transportation stuff, or people, right? Or some military airplanes, you gotta load the vehicles or another like helicopters inside the airplane, right? So all airplanes load and unload, right? So these are common behaviors of airplanes, right? And then the make. All airplanes are made by some company. And all airplanes have some kind of model number, model name, right? All airplanes have fuel capacity. What is the fuel size, right? How much fuel can it take? And travel distance, how far can it fly, right? And top speed, how fast can it go? So these are something common for all airplanes. But then each airplane type has its own characteristics that belong specifically to the airplane type, right? For example, for jets, what? Let's say, I'm sorry? No, those are common, but specifically for these different types, they also have their own characteristics, right? Right? For example, for jets, what like if it's say, let's say military fighter jet, right? Number of missiles. What are missiles? Rockets that it can shoot, right? Oh, actually, no. For jet, we'll put this under military jet. I'm sorry? Shower? But the other ones don't have shower? The passenger, other... Oh, really? Okay, yeah. Shower, right? Laundry. It could be. You're like Jeff Bezos and you're flying and then you sip wine on your... Did I just hit this? Yeah. You sip wine on your shirt. Maybe you can just do... All right. What else could there be? Private. Oh, jets also have, for example, huh? Yeah. Let's say that, right? And then passenger airplanes is, oh, this could be also something capacity, right? And does it have? Okay. Also capacity, for example, right? What else? Meal, right? On flight, on air, meal. Bar, right? And then sections, private, like business, oh, class, right? Business class, different sections, yeah. Number of sections of section or classes. What do you call business class, first class, and then second class?
Economy.
Yeah. So number of class, like it has, let's say 3 classes: business class, first class, and economy, let's say, right? Okay, so for passenger. Now, can we have the business class bar for cargo? Cargo, no, it's cargo. Yeah, for passenger, yes, but we're talking about cargo now. You see, even though all of them are airplanes, they have differences. but they also have common characteristics, which are shared characteristics or shared behaviors, right? So we're planning right now for cargo. Let's say cargo weight, max load weight, right? That it can carry. Max cargo weight, let's say. Cargo weight. What else? Cargo type. So there are, for example, chemicals. And some airplanes are not designed for hazardous goods, right? So, for example, FedEx has cargo planes, UPS, and they are usually they have maybe separate type of airplanes for medical cargo, for example. Yeah, some airplanes are specifically designed for carrying, transporting the medical load cargos, and some can actually maybe transport liquid, right? Smop. Как будет? How do we say in English? Smop. Smop. What do we have in Naidarkan? Like, what do we produce in Naidarkan? Mercury. Yes, smop is mercury, right? Mercury, for example, mercury you cannot carry in regular stuff. You cannot put in your bag and just carry mercury, right? Like, what about America wants to import some mercury from Venezuela? Yeah, they probably do it on the, well, since there's ocean, but what if there's, what about from Canada? They could bring it on an airplane, right? If there's an airplane that can actually carry mercury. Okay, good. And military, let's get back to military. Military also has different types military airplanes, right? Like cargo or soldier carrying, like passenger airplanes, jets, military jets, the fighter jets, right? Military, let's say, jets. So military airplane, we could extend. How about we forget about military to make it easier for us? Otherwise, this is gonna be. I really want to get rid of Jet 2, huh? So let's say fighter jets. Military war planes. Yeah. Say number of missiles.
This property like type of and then put in here cargo and also like military cargo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yes, you can actually. So what Mary suggesting is this, yeah? So what was it? Draw.io? Yeah. So this is completely up to you now how you want to design it. Why? Because you can, the layer of inheritance, there's no limit. The airplane, what we can say is we can have this here and we can say airplane. Exactly. So that's called a design part. or architecture. That's where you can actually have really creative solutions on how, and that's where you actually have to think really carefully on how you want to design your code. Scalability, see? You're like, oh, I will just create airplane, and then like there will be passenger type airplane, cargo, and then military. Okay, but then within military also there's cargo, fighter jets, and passenger types. Oh, maybe I should have created those classes above, and then you know, just extended from the military. So that's what I want to show right now. So here, let's say airplanes are divided into passenger and then to cargo, right? And then here, the passenger ones are also divided into 2 or 3, yeah? Wait, I can delete this. So here we can say private, right? Military. What? Public? Maybe, right? And then cargo also has different types. And here comes the problem too. Cargo can also have military or private, right? Like UPS owns it, yeah? This, no. See, and then the same thing applies to this guy here. Oops. See, just want to carry out here. And bring you here. Then here. What is going on? Okay. See? That's how you can design. But you see, we have military 2 times and private 2 times, yeah? There's an issue. How can I fix this? Because I want to have only one military here. Yeah, that can extend both. But what's the problem with inheritance? One class can extend how many classes?
Only one. Only one.
That's the problem. A class can only extend one class.
Like I.
Military and Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, but what about the uh some airplanes are designed for passenger only, some are designed for cargo, some are designed for war, right? So those have to be like properties, and they cannot be shared properties for all, I mean, public and, I mean, private and military. Cannot divide it from there, right? So see, this is, I don't know, I mean, right now I don't have a solution for this, but this basically means you have to really think from scalability perspective. Scalable means when it gets big, right? Wider. Yeah, расширение. How am I going to manage? You know, you are designing. Passenger, military, and car. Oh yeah. And then passenger private and cargo private. Yeah, we can do that. But the purpose here is to show you like who extends what, and there are limitations sometimes. Now, this military right now can only extend one class, right? Like inheritance of regular Java classes, it can only extend one class. That's the limitation. But here's the thing, Java also has interfaces. Remember, set interface, map interface. We can use interface. And if, for example, cargo and passenger are interface, then military can extend them both. We can have only one class military and extend both passenger and cargo. So this is one of the most important interview questions too. We're gonna cover inheritance interfaces soon, but they asked us, what's the difference between class, abstract class, and interface? The main difference is that classes can only be inherited, class can inherit only one class, but a class can implement as many interfaces as needed. There's no limit. Okay? Implement is basically inheritance. So class can inherit one class, but a class can inherit many interfaces, which you will get to. Right now, this is our limitation, but actually there's no limitation. A lot of real world projects, they use interfaces. They don't use classes. All right, let's get back to our code. Let's design airplane. And this airplane has, how do we do? String, right? String, make. String, model. What else? String, what's it, type? Make, model, fuel capacity, travel distance, top speed, right? Fuel capacity, let's say in tons, so integer, right? Like how many tons? Usually tons, right? So, or gallons, I don't know. Travel distance is int, right? Usually, like in miles. What's the top speed is also int, right? Okay. Common methods. take off, land, load. How do I? So takeoff is usually void, right? Public void, and then this dot model to off to air and route. En route or on route? I think en route should work. En route.
En route.
En route, yes. During the course of a journey, on the way. En route, okay. Public void land this dot model just landed. Safely. Okay. Load, unload. Void. Or load. Yeah, I'm not gonna put load or unload. I'm gonna put here. Public string and get, make, and model. And we're going to return a string. And I'm gonna put that string here, string, make, and model. And we're gonna put here made by, and then we put here make, right? This dot make, and then plus a new line, model name, this dot model. Okay, return, make, and model. Okay, I want to ask questions here. Two tells me Guliza. Hi Guliza, are you able to unmute? Oh no. Okay, this thing. Okay, it's working, but something, the battery is dying. Wait. Am I audible online?
Yes.
I must see the battery is dying on this device. Okay, so for Guliza, are you able? Okay, Aidana, or Yeah.
Yes.
Can you tell me
Yes.
what this method is doing?
So we created a method get, make, and model, which returns string data type. And inside the body, we create a string, which is make and model. And then we write what we want to return once the method is called. So
Good. That's it. Thank you. Okay. Miss Claire, did you understand what she was explaining? Yes. What are we doing on line 20? What is this right here? What does
Data type,
what the data type of what?
string,
Yes, but is it the data type for return value or
return
parameter?
type.
Return type. Okay. What's the method name?
Get the make and model.
What is its access modifier? Access level. Public, right? Access mod. We covered access modifiers, no? Okay. So this method is returning. The method name is get, make, and model, right? And then basically inside we're building a string object, string object, right? String literal by concatenating, for example, made by, and then we're putting the make of this the object and the model of this object and returning that string, right? Make and model.
If we're running this code,
So the question that you are asking is, if we run this code, what should happen, right? So right now we cannot run this, right? Because there's no main method here in this class. So right now we're preparing the skeleton, the blueprint, the structure of our airplane class. And now other classes will extend this airplane class. And then somewhere we'll create a main method, right? And then that's where we can create airport class. Inside that airport class, we can create objects of these and we can call these methods. We can do other stuff. Okay. Now we need to create a constructor, and constructors, the first rule is it has to match the class name, right? So airplane. Okay, and then we get string make, string model. Why am I doing this, by the way? I'm sorry? These are parameters, yeah? Why do I need these parameters?
to initialize objects when we want to create, when we will create the object, those properties will
Initialize the properties, the instance variables, right, of this class. Okay, so this dot make equals make. This dot model equals model. Okay, and what I can do is generate I can do that or do constructor. Boom. Yeah, I have initialized all the instance variables. So I have a constructor here. Okay, now we're gonna create. You guys don't know this? What have you guys been studying here for? I'm just kidding. We should have showed it to you, right? So how do we do that? I'm gonna delete this, and you can do right click and click on generate. Or on Mac, you can just do Command plus N. Or on Windows, Control plus N. Letter N as in Nancy, right? Name. And then you select constructor, and you can select all by Command plus A or Control plus A, right? Or you can simply, let me see, you can simply select them like by pressing the Shift. There you go. I selected all of them, and then I select OK, click OK, and now it automatically created the constructor for me. N as in Nancy, right? Okay. All right. And now let's go ahead and create other classes, and we're gonna create passenger airplane. And this passenger airplane is gonna have int number of passenger. Is it called capacity? Or yeah, number of passengers. What else? String or int number of class levels, right? Okay, and then I'm gonna create a constructor, passenger airplane, boom, and then here, int number of passengers, int number of class levels, and this that number of number of passengers equal number of passengers that I'm getting, and this that number of class levels equal number of class levels. Okay, I have initialized both of these, bless you, both of these instance variables now. And passenger airplane, let's say void, yeah, void, and then serve meal, right? And then we can take here meal type. And we can say, hey, all passengers are being served with, and then you can say meal type, like lunch, breakfast, or dinner, supper, right? Did we have load, unload? We didn't, right? Just, okay, good. Here, I'm gonna close all other tabs. And I'm gonna have here, on board, yeah? As you guys type, I'm thinking about onboard method. How can we onboard? For meaning onboard has to be void or oh, you know what? Int get number of passengers on board. Okay. Return this dot number of passengers. Okay. So now I have airplane class and I have passenger airplane. And this passenger airplane has unique things compared to the all common characteristics and behaviors of regular airplanes. How? The regular airplanes, I mean, all the airplanes have make and model, type, fuel capacity, distance travel, top speed, but the passenger airplane has something extra, like the number of passengers or number of class levels, right? Such as, what kind of class levels there? Huh? First class, business class,
Economy.
Yeah. So these are extra for passenger airplanes. Therefore, I did not put these in the airplane class, correct? Okay, now in the passenger class, I want to inherit because even the passenger airplane has the make. Who makes the passenger airplane, right? Which company made it? Let's look up airplane make companies. Airbus is also a company. Oh, Boeing, Airbus, yeah. Lockheed Martin. Boeing and Airbus. Good. See? So all the airplanes have the company who manufactures them, and all the airplanes have some kind of model number. Boeing A747, 737, 747, 777, I think. Yeah. So now let's go ahead and inherit these, right? Because these characteristics will be common for all types of airplanes. Right now, I just created passenger airplane. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and inherit them. How, what's the keyword? Extend. Airplane, boom. Now, you see, it says, hey, you only are taking two, what? Parameters. But guess what? Your parent here takes 6 parameters. So I need you to get me these. If you want to extend me, then I want all this information too, because you need to initialize all these instance variables. I need these characteristics for, if you want to work with me, if you want to inherit my characteristics, then I want you to provide me this information too. So now we have to get all of this information from the user whenever we're creating new airplane. Okay, so what are they? Okay, there we go. And these are make, model, type, fuel capacity, travel distance, top speed, and the others. Now, I need to initialize them one by one, right? I can just use super. Can I not initialize them here? Can I or no?
No, you
Oh.
cannot without types of variables. Just write the variable names.
So make equals make.
No. I mean super, and then inside the brackets, these variable names.
Super make model type fuel capacity travel distance top speed. Now see, it's happy, right? So what is happening here? Why am I using the super keyword?
In order to call the parent constructor.
Yes, we are calling the parent classes as constructor, right? Which is the, look, how do I know which exactly constructor is calling? I can press and hold the command key for Mac or control key for Windows and hover over this, and it's showing, look, you are pointing to airplane constructor in the airplane class. Or if I click this, it will take me there, see? So now I know which exactly the constructor is called. All right, so this constructor will take and initialize all these variables, instance variables for me. It assigns these values, right? Initialize them. Okay, cool. Now we have the publish. Now we have the constructor for the passenger airplane. And let me then go ahead and create here airport. Airport. And inside this airport, I'm gonna have main method. And now I want to create an instance of passenger airplane. So passenger airplane and Boeing like this, okay. Boeing passenger planes. Let's see. Oh, they have commercial. And I just want YouTube. Okay. I thought they also say A something, no? Just say 747. 747-8, for example. Boeing 747, let's say, and then new passenger plane. Now here I need to provide all the information, such as make Boeing model 747-8 type passenger, right? And then fuel capacity, Boeing 747. Fuel capacity, what image? Woohoo! This many gallons. And then what's next? travel distance. Okay, maximum range of distance, so 8,000 miles, yeah? We can say this kilometers. Yeah, let's use kilometers. Number of passengers. Passenger capacity, 467. Oh, no. I need top speed. How about we remove top speed, yeah? What? Oh, okay. Okay, I think we shouldn't have any issues here. And here we need to remove that. What? Make, model, type. Okay. Make, model, type, fuel capacity, travel distance. Fuel capacity, travel distance. Okay, that's fine. What's the problem? Oh, it's in here. Okay. Travel distance and the number of passengers is 467. And number of class levels, let's say 3. All right. This was a lot. How about we do it like this? There we go. What is going on here? Oh, I didn't remove it from here. Huh? Okay, good. All right, good. Sorry, guys. This is a lot of parameters here. It doesn't fit on my screen. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just bring them down like this. Yeah, so it's easier for you to see. Yeah, there you go. So this is my constructor, yeah? Okay, in the airplane right here. Now, Boeing 747 is what data type? Passenger airplane. And now I should be able to call these methods from the passenger airplane class, right? Correct? All right, I want to get the number of passengers for this plane. So what I can do is system.println, the number of passengers. Oh, okay. Number of passengers on board. And then Boeing 747 dot get number of passengers on board. See? Right? What does get number of passengers return?
Integer.
Meaning integer type, right? The data type, yeah? Okay. So here now I'm gonna what I can do is instead of typing it here, I could save it in a int number of passengers on board. And then I can just put here number of passengers on board. Okay. Benazir, what's happening here? Tell me. So what you are saying is that I'm calling this method from which class again? Passenger airplane class, right? Okay. And when I call it, it's returning me something, right? What does it return? Integer, right? Basically, number of passengers. And what am I doing with the return data?
Initialize it with another name, number of passengers on board.
Variable, integer type variable, right?
Yes.
Yes, and I assigned the return value to this integer type variable. Okay, and then printing it out here. Nice. Ms. Zia, I want to serve meal. See, it says serve meal. So on the airplane, when you're sitting, they serve you food, right? Safrak, I mean breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So tell me about this method. What do you see here?
Line 23, you created method
Mm-hmm.
serve meal, which data type is string data type.
What data type?
String
String for what?
meal type.
What is
What?
meal type?
It's a method also.
Meal type is a method, right?
Yeah.
And we call it from
Parent class.
meal type. We call it from the. Wait. What is this?
Parameter list.
It's a parameter. The parameter, right? So serve meal is a method.
Method.
Okay.
Method.
How do I know if it's a method or not?
Parentheses and curly brace.
Because of this parenthesis that's following it, right? Okay. What is this?
Void
What does it mean?
doesn't return.
It doesn't
It's-
return anything, right? Okay, so during interview, how I would say, hey, looks like on line 23, you have a method which is type, which is public, which is the access level, and return type is void, meaning it doesn't return anything. And the method name is serve meal. So it takes a parameter, which is string data type. And looks like you're just printing.
Said instead of string parameters, I said the return type, right?
No, you said it's a method in the airplane class. And I was like, we're calling it from the airplane class. That's not, just kidding. All right, cool. So now I want to call this serve meal. And you see what it requires, right? And then it will just print all passengers are being served with lunch. All passengers are being served with dinner. All passengers are being served with breakfast. So Let's go ahead and call that method right now. Help me.
Oh, call method?
Call that method. Invoke, right?
Invoke, okay.
Yes.
Method.
Serve meal.
Void. Up without.
I just need to serve food. Serve
Serve
meal
meal.
to my passengers, yes. Serve meal dot Boeing 747 dot airplane dot text state academy, yeah? Oh, I mean number of passengers. How do you call a method? How do you call your friend? By her name on the phone, right? On your phone, you search for her name and you call, but you use your phone first and then search her name and click and it calls. Same thing. I have to
Name of the object.
yes, name of the object dot
Serve meal.
what kind of meal am I serving? Lunch. All right. Cool. Let's go ahead and run this class now. I mean, minutes. Okay. So number of passengers on board, 467. All passengers are being served with lunch. Okay, Tim. Microphone, please, to Mr. Tim Cook. Just kidding. Tim, I want to get this airplane's make and model.
Model,
Make and model.
make and model.
And in
One
the
sec.
airplane class here, we have get make and model.
Airport. Get and model. Hop.
Go back to the same thing. Wait, what do I need to do?
Boeing. That. Make a model. Get make and model.
But how am I calling this? It's not even in the passenger airplane class. I don't see that method here.
Ah,
It's in the airplane class, right?
airplane class.
Wait, why is... Oh my God, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, return that. Yeah, that's fine. We can do it, make it void. That's fine. And what's the problem? Ah, instead of this. Oh. I'll just keep it as string. Okay. So what's the problem, Tim?
Mm,
This make and model is located where? In the airplane. But the Boeing 747 is an instance of passenger airplane.
Create one string.
No, I don't need to create string. Why I am able to call this method? How come I am able to call this method?
With with Boeing,
747
yes,
dot.
not Ketum model.
How am I calling this? Why? This is not in the passenger airplane class, right? It's in the airplane class. How is it that, Boeing 747, which is object of passenger airplane, give me access to the airplane classes method? Because of,
Extends airplane.
yes, because of inherits, right?
Mhm.
Extends. So does it make sense now, Ms. Zia? Why do I have access to the airplane classes methods? Because of this extends keyword. That's the whole purpose. So that now I'm gonna, let's say, create a cargo airplane class. And that will also extend the airplane class. And in the cargo also, cargo airplanes also take off. Passenger airplanes also take off. So this is something common. If I don't write this method here, right, then I have to write the same method in passenger class, in cargo, in military, in private jet, like all of them take off. Why do I have to write the same method in every class if I can write it in one place and just extend it and reuse the same thing? Correct? That is the purpose of inheritance, so that we don't have to keep writing the same code everywhere. We just write it in one place and reuse it as many times as we need. Yeah? Good. Okay, cool. Now, that was the passenger airplane. And your task now is to create another class called cargo plane or cargo airplane. Okay?
Mhm.
And implement the same
Airplane.
stuff. Like, for example, for cargo airplanes, we did this stuff, right? And then load load the load cargo. And this is the method. Get cargo weight. Okay. That's your task, and I'm gonna post it in the Slack channel. Create a cargo airplane class and implement the following following properties. And I will share this code first. Command Alt, Command C. That's the airplane. That's the passenger. If you haven't finished your code. And this is the airport class. This is your task.
Sorry, Bahabeke.
Yeah.
We just need to do to create the cargo class, right? That's it.
Yeah. Cargo class, and then create an object of that cargo class in the airport class, yeah? Or
Mhm.
yeah, also create an object in the airport class, and then if you want, you can practice on calling some of the methods of the cargo class or the airplane class so that you understand the logic part, yeah?
So then, do you need to send it or no?